In 2012, a girl caught fire on the big screen. Katniss Everdeen would fight her way through a brutal contest put on by the Capitol while possibly finding love along the way. Now, this isn't a bad film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's also not above criticism. So I have taken it upon myself to rise up and volunteer as tribute to roast the Hunger Games. This movie fires up on all cylinders with text. Listen, film, we either read the book or we didn't. Show me moving pictures. YouTube streamer Destiny and who I would imagine is someone Joe Rogan would interview are talking about the Hunger Games. The conversation's cut off by screaming at District 12. Jayla is singing to her sister. Song's not really coming to mind. Not sure if it's a Taylor Swift deep cut or something else. Either way, it sucks. Katniss Everdeen's out for an awkward jog while the camera guy's just doing everything he can to not trip and fall over. What is going on with these shots? Calm down. She's hunting Bambi when Gale rudely interrupts.
Damn you, Gale.
He playfully calls her catnip.
What are you gonna do with the 100-pound deer, Catnip?
I hate that. Liam Hemsworth suggests they run away into the woods instead of participating in the barbaric Hunger Games. He lost me in his eyes. I'm with him every step of the way. Katniss begs to differ, says it won't work because they have a family and friends to look out for. Listen, Katniss is a much stronger individual than me. I don't know how she's resisting the charms of a Hemsworth brother, but fair game. What we have ourselves here, boys and girls, is a strong female lead. And for the young adult book industry, it's about time. Cinderella gets ready for the ball. Her sister pays her a compliment.
Now you look beautiful too.
Wish I looked like you.
I think. Jesus. She sounds like one of the Children of the Corn kids. Katniss gives her a Mockingjay pin for protection, explaining to her that as long as she has the pin, nothing can really hurt her. Except for bullets, and swords, and axes, and really everything can still hurt her. It's more of a mind thing, I think. It's more of a symbol, I guess. It's reaping time, baby! One lucky boy and girl from District 12 will get the opportunity to go into the arena head-to-head against their brethren from the other districts in a bloody battle to the death. What an honor! Elizabeth Banks welcomes everyone to the event. She looks like she just got back from insert whatever dumbass thing rich people go to where they dress up like fucking idiots. President Snow narrates a touching little pre-game video.
13 districts rebelled against the country that fed them.
Super inspirational. The kids are pretty jazzed up. Banks, aka Elfie Trinket, pulls out the first winner.
Primrose Everdeen.
Oh snap, it's Catnip's sister. Looks like that Mockingjay pendant's already going to good use.
I volunteer as tribute.
Shot out of a cannon, Katniss volunteers to take her place. Ugh, she's such a glory hog. Instead of clapping, the audience all holds up the shocker symbol in unison. That might not be the symbol. That might be something else. Elfie then calls on the male tribute, a young gentleman by the name of Peta. Peta. You heard me. Not Peter, not Petrie even. Peta, like the bread. And he's also a baker's son, so it's really kind of lining up nice. And the author does a really smart thing here. By naming him Peta, he showcases just how poor these people are. They can't even afford to finish names. Prim gives her sister the Mockingjay pin back after having it for no more than 10 minutes. She's like, yeah, thanks. You can go ahead and hang on to this. It's done so well for me so far. Our two tributes board the train, I think. I'm not really sure what the camera guy's filming, but I'm getting glimpses of what appears to be a moving vehicle. A Woody enters the wagon. It's Haymitch. He's their mentor, and he's drunk off his ass.
There's nothing I can do to save you.
He's not great at his job. The next morning, this new family does a bit of strategizing over a pancake breakfast. Katniss says, knife to meet you, and plants her freaking blade into some beautiful mahogany wood.
That is mahogany.
At the Capitol, Katniss is getting all dolled up to look like a real American woman, which means Lenny Kravitz is close by.
And I'm here to help you in any way that I can.
His character Cinna is going to turn this frog into a real princess. Yeah, his name is Cinna, not to be confused with cinnamon, which is something you could find on a babka, which is a type of bread. A pita bread. This guy was hungry when he wrote the book. It's fashion show time, ladies. On the runway, we see some real fireworks. Katniss and Peta look smoking hot. Toasty! And might I just add, the green screen work here is exquisite. You can barely tell they're not really there. And they even get the attention of old Coralina Snow. During what appears to be a Thanksgiving feast, Peta throws a little hissy fit about not being good at the Hunger Games. I mean, he's just predicting he'll suck at it.
You know what my mother said? She said District 12 might finally have a winner. But she wasn't talking about me.
That's gotta sting.
She was talking about you.
Well, yeah, no shit. Did that really need to be clarified, Peta? You're the only two people from the district. He kind of storms out, doing the classic napkin toss onto the table. I envy this guy. I've always wanted to storm out doing the napkin throw. Just, I'm done here. I'm out. It's on my bucket list. It's on my to-do list. During a little training sesh, short for session, Peta looks a fool and falls off a cargo net. A few reject NSYNC members laugh at his pitiful display. He throws something really heavy to showcase his manliness, and that shuts them right up. He then gets the opportunity to showcase his real talent, which is painting. He does a beautiful job rendering his arm to look the same color as the tree behind him. It's almost 1-to-1. And it kind of begs the question, what? How? How are you doing this? How are you so good with the paints? You are the son of a baker in shitty ass, poor ass District 12. What kind of cakes are you guys even making over there with the frosting? You got the little thing that you're pumping some letters onto. You're spelling out happy birthday. That's a far cry from painting this intricate, detailed bark on your arm. Are you out of your mind with that? He's looking like the best painter in the world over here. All right, it's time for Cat Shit to showcase her talent to the judges. This is critical for winning sponsors. Once inside the game, they can drop you food, supplies, whatever you need. As long as you are showcasing your talents well, they're gonna back this horse. She strokes the shaft of a bow, and now it's the only way I can achieve climax. She shoots an arrow square in the chest of a dummy, but when she looks up, those dummies aren't even paying attention. And it's probably a good thing because her next shot is way worse. It's nowhere near the target. Her next arrow goes straight through the apple of the succulent pig they're trying to feast upon. Not even remotely in the same area.
Thank you.
It's almost like she tried to do that, like she did it on purpose. Oh. I see you, Katniss. I see what you're doing. That's actually good. I like that. I like that. The scores start rolling in. Peta gets an 8 out of, I don't actually know what, I assume 10. Katniss gets
11.
Okay, so that throws the out of 10 out the window. What does this go to? 100? People seem happy about the 8 and 11, so it must be pretty solid. In the Rose Garden, Snow and Plutarch Heavensby, terrible name, have a chat about the games. Snow subtly warns Plutarch that he better heavens be careful when managing this thing. Let's continue. Caesar Flickerman's all smiles. That's why we have teeth after all, as he introduces the 75th Hunger Games. It's time to meet the contestants for a little one-on-one conversation. Short for conversation. Katniss floors everyone with a majestic twirl that just won't quit. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Spin it! Oh, 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 oh. A tailspin. Good luck following up that performance, petard.
Do I smell like?
Never mind, this kid is absolutely owning the stage right now. He and Caesar are a dynamic duo up there. It's all fun and games until Peta hits the audience with a bombshell.
There's this one girl that I've had a crush on forever.
His high school sweetheart crush is Katniss Everdeen. Yeah.
Well, that's bad luck.
Yeah.
She doesn't take it well. After a touching toodaloo to cinnamon sticks, Katniss heads into a clear tube. It reminds me of those one water slides where the bottom kicks out. I can't imagine anything more frightening than that. Except for getting maybe raised up to your death in a battle royale. That might be worse. The countdown begins as these players find themselves in the worst round of Fortnite imaginable. The games begin, and most contestants waste no time heading right for that cornucopia of items in the center. Katniss grabs a bag and heads into the woods to touch grass. The camera work is out of control here, most likely to mask the PG-13 violence, but there had to be a better way. If I squint real hard, I can barely make out Jack Quaid doing an early audition for The Boys. But outside that, it's just a jumbled mess. The camera work here is equivalent to a parent filming their kid's middle school talent show. Bad. You're never gonna watch that back. Why are you wasting your time? Ninja announces several people have died in the Hunger Games, while Katniss assesses her surroundings before going full Rambo. Making some traps for potential threats, getting some snares going for food. While up in a tree, she spots a Porky's-esque peephole. It's one of many cameras hidden around the arena, so everyone in the audience gets a good sense of what's going on. In the middle of the night, our girl Kat notices Petrie actually working with the Backstreet Boys to hunt her down. Thanks, dick. The next morning, our girl on fire might literally be on fire. An inferno has awakened, and it is scorching everything in its path. The camera crew is in just as much danger. They can't even afford to film the main protagonist anymore. They're just taking shots of random trees and ground. The Mickey Mouse crew catches up and chases her into another section of the forest. She scales another tree, careful to avoid splinters. Don't get me started on splinters. They're the absolute worst. I couldn't think of anything worse than getting a splinter. Patricia suggests to the crew that they just wait her out down below. Meanwhile, Haymitch is back at home conjuring up some sponsors to get our girl on fire some cream. Maybe while they're at it, they can send out a damn comb so she can fix the rat's nest above her head. No luck. It's just the cream. The next morning, Katniss awakens to a possible friend on a nearby tree. Nice to see her branching out a bit. Subscribe. She kind of mimes to Katniss to drop a tracker jacker hive on top of the idiots below. Not a beehive, they're tracker jackers. They're created by the Capitol. They're deadly. They're awful, awful insects. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. And boom goes the dynamite. These little buggers take out a couple of the hunting party and they do quite the number on K-Pax herself. P-Dog shakes her to get away.
Get out of here, go! What are you doing?
Maybe this kid's not all bad after all. After a quaint fever dream, she awakens to find herself alone once again. Oh wait, there's her friend Rue. I can't wait to see where this new budding friendship goes. I'm sure it's gonna last for quite a while, for many years. They'll tell stories and talk about their misadventures with their kids. It's time to go on the offense now. Rue creates a diversion so K-Money can go in and destroy the douche brigade's supplies. Before she has a chance to blink though, this Sonic the Hedgehog moving motherfucker goes in, takes some items and leaves. Gotta go fast, Katniss. Actually, come to think of it, this Sonic is more of a Tails, as her nickname in the Hunger Games is Fox, so it adds up. K-Pax locks on target, takes aim, and fires an arrow right into a bag of apples. She's not a fan of fruit. The apples spill out, triggering the mines that were strategically buried in the ground around the cornucopia. And boom, this thing goes up like the 4th of July. How do you like them apples, Kato? Kato's the name of that unhinged, handsome blonde fella. He's also not impressed by what he saw. He gives it 1 neck snap out of 10. And yes, my score goes out of 10, not 11 or whatever cockamamie numbers the judges at the Capitol have thrown up. Things just keep getting worse. Jack Quaid gets the jump on them, putting the little girl down for the count. He killed her. How rude. Get it? How rude? This really isn't something I should be laughing about. A young child has died. Katniss Everdumb ugly cries for a little bit before giving her a very proper ceremonial burial. Gorgeous bouquet of flowers in hand. This leads to a small but powerful uprising in the districts. And we're going to transition seamlessly into what has to be the dumbest scene in this film. Nay, the dumbest scene in this franchise.
Oh my god, Peta!
Katniss stumbles upon Peta, who's laying in the mud, blended in with his face paints. That's right, Peta went stone face. The level of skill, of raw, uncut talent our little Baker boy has with the paints is unmatched in the world. This is next level talent, folks. To be able to do this yourself with very limited resources while being hunted, I just couldn't even fathom how he could get so much detail out of this, so much heart and energy put into this. It's incredible. It's truly incredible. Truly stupid. Now in a cave, she spoon feeds him soup while he bores her to death with a story. His mom's probably watching through a camera and completely disgusted by what an embarrassment he is. Katniss kisses him, probably to shut him up. I'm at the point where I would do the same. While he's dreaming about Lord knows what, Five Nights at Freddy's ghosts, Katniss sneaks out to the cornucopia for some promised medicine, an antidote for Peta, because he's not in a good situation. He's in dire straits right now. We have ourselves a good old-fashioned cat fight. The cat fight. Jayla's about to get KO'd when Rue's buddy from the district heads over and saves her. But then he looks over at her and goes,
Just this time, 12. For Rue.
What? Thanks? Dick? Why? Why just this one time? It's the last night of the games. Only a few players remain. K-Swiss and Peta see that Rue's friend is killed off camera. Face goes up in the clouds. So I guess there won't be a next time, bro. How do you like me now? Is what she should have said, but she didn't. She's better than me. This means it's just those two and the dumpster teen Kato. But there's no time to dwell, the chase is on. Some giant dogs are barreling down on them. They look bad and nothing like what the book describes them as. Now on top of the cornucopia, Kato gets Peta in a chokehold. But Can't Miss isn't having it, dropping him like a bad habit. And now the mutts have a free meal. Hey Kato, clean up. I'll you. This leaves only the star-crossed lovers left on the battlefield. In an act of defiance against the Capitol, they decide to go out as a pair by eating some poison berries. And in doing so, they call out the Capitol's bluff and are awarded the winners of the 75th Hunger Games. Yeah, they did it. It's not all rainbows and sticker packs, though, when she gets back to her mentor. Hey Bitch is furious, warning her of the fire that she started. The Capitol doesn't like being made a fool, which is kind of ironic to say, because of how they dress. Snow's particularly upset, and he shows it in the most casual of ways by leaving a little gift for the game maker in the form of some poisonous berries. How do you like them apples? That doesn't work there. The film comes to a close with Katniss going face to face with Snow for the first time. They exchange some veiled threats, and she's sent home with Peta.
They must be very proud of you.
Oh, and there's Gale, smiling at her. I forgot he was in this movie. The film finally ends with Snow sensing a disturbance in the Force, and he walks away from the camera and into the Hunger Games 2, catching fire. Well, that's the Hunger Games, a perfectly serviceable adaptation. It definitely could have been a lot better, but it's not a bad film. Let me know your thoughts on this movie, along with the franchise as a whole. I'd also appreciate a like on the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you liked it more, and if you loved it, maybe become a member on Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, or right here via the YouTube join button. Or if you just want to do a one-time thank you, there's a super thanks option somewhere under the video. I'm not sure where, but somewhere you can just say, hey Adam, thanks, here's $4. You're worth $4 to me. And I would take that as the highest form of a compliment. All right, that's all I have. Hopefully I see you next time, and may the odds ever be in your favor. Do, 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 do. That's not the right one. Do, 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 do.